Now, this is as big as the moon landing. There's been massive talk about changes with zoning in the last week or two. We're going to clear it up for you. What is exactly happening with some potential changes in a lot of zonings in Sydney? Stay tuned.
All right, let's solve some problems this morning.
A lot of chat. People are excited. People are saying, it's, you know what it is? You know what I love? It's putting into the money into the pockets of mum and dads potentially with some of these changes that we're going to talk about today. So people that are sitting on big blocks, on blocks that are close to 800 metres to shopping areas, not major, but just shopping areas, close to transport. Big changes coming.
Yeah, there's always been talk about flying to the moon in our sci-fi future films to solve a housing crisis. Well, that's not going to be needed after this, or we're certainly heading in the right direction. So this is talking about some changes to the Greater Sydney region, the Hunter, the Central Coast, Illawarra, also known as the Six Cities region. So I guess let's just jump into it, because effectively what the state government is talking about here is changing some of the zoning with local councils to improve the ability to put in new stock that is desperately needed to solve this rental crisis. Mark, have you seen anything like this before?
I don't believe it's a change of zoning, but I believe it's a change of density.
Have you seen anything like this before?
I saw this back in 1995.
Wow.
And back then, what actually happened was council said, look, we've got these big blocks of land. Actually, can I just stop there for a second?
Yeah.
The principle is really, really simple. The lowest hanging fruit for a nation or for a country, for when there's huge net migration that we've got at the moment, which there generally has been in this country a lot of the time, but the lowest hanging fruit, it's very expensive. I know I said this a couple of weeks ago, but if you think about a spiral, right?
Yes.
Internationally, it's very expensive to build more schools and to build more hospitals and to build more roads and more infrastructure for a government. Very, very expensive. It is much, 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 much more cheaper to allow for higher density in built up areas, to make the hospital 10 or 20% bigger, to make the railway, 10% bigger, sometimes not even needed, to make the transport system it's much to make the schools 10% bigger. It's much cheaper for government. So if you just remember in the front of your mind that principle, I'll take you now back to the 1995. They went, look, are we going to start another 100 subdivisions out west, or we're going to allow these people with these super duper big blocks that they're not using to put another house? And that was the principle of dual occupancy back in the 90s. It came fast, it stopped fast, but there was a lot of people that profited from their backyards.
Right, okay. So this new change is going to allow terraces, townhouses, two-story apartment blocks near transport hubs and town centres in R2 density residential zones. And I think it's got the same principle, the same message behind it. It's trying to help existing areas improve, their density. And was this like an example of people doing a battle axe block front and back, or was it terrace either side? house by house?
In the 90s, when it came in, the dual occupancy laws, there was things like you had to be over a certain block size for it to get done. You had to have a 4 meter corridor down the side of your home to allow for a driveway and services to run down the side, services like drainage, water, and stuff like that. What's interesting with this change is developers at the moment are really freaked out by class 2 building because it is so hard now. It is just so hard to build these days. So this building that's going to be allowed, a lot of this building is going to be allowed, is not that medium density stuff, which is hard to build. It's going to be the easy stuff that's easy to build. So that'll be great.
That's good. So the state government's identified a significant gap in the approval of density regarding R2 and R3 zones. And
Yep.
what I was reading, what's interesting here is the changes here would account for like 30% of the new homes needed by 2029. That's the state government's targets. Agreed.
And don't forget, this is not their only solution. They're paralleling down the line with other solutions as well. So if they can have a one third, one third, one third principle, and this is 1/3 of the change, then it's progress.
It's a lot of house though. There's 377,000 in the pipeline.
It's a shit ton. But if you look at some of these areas, where I know like people, what we don't realise, what we don't see, what we don't realise, because we just that's just life. But we are one of the internationally we are one of the lowest density sort of areas. So to allow these higher densities is simply bringing us up to international scale and what people sort of have. So these big blocks of land that we sit on, and these small these shopping centres that don't have any density around them, it's rare, and it's more consistent with planning standards around the world.
Yeah. Is there anyone that's not going to benefit from this?
Look, it seems to be what I'm reading about is the concentration seems to be around transport, and it seems to be around shops. So I think if you're not around transport and you're not around shops, or you're a super small block, you could. I don't think that you're going to be a beneficiary of this density allowance. Now, it's not in. You cannot start applying for it straight away, so it's not in our code. But last time that this was spoken about, it was stamped out by a lot of councils, so it could still not get up. But I know that the planning minister's planning for it, but it still has to it will be enforced on local councils. But last time something like this happened, the local councils pushed back successfully.
Yeah, okay. So it's not confirmed, but it certainly is being talked about. That's that's the change they're referring to, the change in R2 to R3.
Yeah, so if you've just tuned in, we're talking about the density that our minister's trying to get through New South Wales with more properties, more units, more townhouses, semis, dual occupancies, and the fact and what why this is being done. So, look, I think principally, I love it because I haven't seen opportunity for development for a very long time in my personal career of 30 years. Except for right at the beginning when I started, there was that dual occupancy stuff, and people that were prosperous and wanted to have a go and build and sell and make some money. They really did. And it was allowing more rental properties in the grid. It was allowing more properties for first home buyers out there. So it's I think it's pretty exciting for people that want to have a go when it comes into place as well.
Yeah, well, it's an ambitious target. set by the state government, and this is maybe one way they're going to tackle it head on. 112,000 new homes this could potentially bring to the marketplace.
Could happen right next door to you, under your nose, could be your property. So
Yeah.
definitely, I'd be holding on to properties on if you had a consideration of buying, I'd be trying to buy, and you wanted to do stuff like development, I would be buying around shopping centres, little or big shopping centres, and I'd be buying on transport sort of within 800 metres to shopping centres or 800 metres to major transport hubs, because I think they're going to be the biggest beneficiaries. And if you're selling, I'd probably hold on and just see what's going to happen first.
Yeah, okay. How long do you hold though? This stuff never went through last time. Do you reckon this is an answer that we'll get in weeks, months, quarters?
I reckon it's a 12-month process. Before it comes into play in full place, it'll be up to 12 months that we'll know about it. So, next 3, 6, 9 months, I think it'll come through. Before, when it originally happened, we used to just call it dual occupancy laws, or dual occupancy, I'm going to build a dual occupancy, sell a dual occupancy. This is a sort of more of a hybrid and a better version of it.
Yeah. There you go. I think that's the show.
That's a show. Have a good day, and don't forget, we've got our Chrissy party in 2 nights' time. We're starting at 6 with a educational on the property market, and at 6:45 we're swinging over to drinks. If you're coming along, let us know. RSVP.
Yeah, I'm keen. Very excited.
All right, Billy. Take care.
See ya. Have a good day.
See ya.